Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer, and we're here with another G.I. Joe Classified Series action figure review. And we are looking at Blowtorch. Or if you're a connoisseur of, bad early 2000s humor, pork chop sandwiches, everybody. If you know, you know. Anyway, this is one of... I really did like this Joe. This was one of my favorites back in the day. Fire Trooper, what more do you need to say? I mean, look at that art. And the figure looks amazing. Oh, look, we got those Vipers back there. And we've got the bridge layer. Dude, are we getting a bridge layer? That'll be pretty damn cool. We know it's not the HasLab, but still, that's cool. And that's why I love this artwork stuff. Anyway, there's the stats, there's the stuff there, here's the figure in the box, but we know that's not what we're here for, so let's get him out and see if this guy lives up to expectations. Here we have Blowtorch out of the package, and there is a lot I like that's going on here. And there is a little bit of frustration, I will not lie. I will always be truthful to you guys. I am never going to blindly say, this is awesome, this is sucks, or anything like that. But where this guy is, where he's hot, had to say it. And where he's not, yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a challenge. The overall deco, the overall presentation, absolute A+. The fire suit looks absolutely fantastic. I do find it funny that Joe's got Blowtorch while the Dreadnoughts have Torch. I know it's never been mentioned that they have any kind of relation, but that would be really cool if somehow these two guys actually did. As always, I love it when a classified figure can hold all his gear, and he absolutely does. Balance, as you can see, can be a little tricky. It's just getting that right sweet spot. There's just... It's cohesive, which is probably the best thing. You know... Almost makes you say, maybe I should have waited for the retro card just because it comes with the stand. Or it could just be my styrofoam here. That could absolutely be a true factor to it. So keep that in mind. Articulation, we'll get into it in a minute, but there are definitely some things I want to talk about. I do not know how they have him doing a two-handed grip. That's probably one of my biggest complaints aside from this balance issue, which once again could be my base. But, I'll just prop that up against my hella dope boxes right here. I do not know how they had him doing a two-handed hold, because I, for the life of me, cannot do it. It took me forever to try to get it just like that. And it is kind of annoying. Even if I did the trick with the butterfly joints, the way the fire suit's designed, it just would not allow his arms to cross over. So that's probably, as far as the figure goes, one of my biggest complaints. Everything else, though, like I said, the color is cohesive. From the back, yeah, that's pretty plain. But the overlay, all these pieces look great. The fire suit looks fantastic. And how he looks completely geared up is really well done. The backpack is the same flamethrower pack that Torch had. And there you can see his little gap here. I can actually have the flamethrower in storage back here, which I think is really neat, because again, I love stuff like that. We get all three of the flame options, which is very nice. So I think this is and the flamethrower itself is really well done. I, of course, would not have minded a little more paint, especially up here at the nozzle. Like a little bit of singed metal, kind of like it was like the barrels of the Hiss tank, if you've ever seen those. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts, when the retro card version comes out, it'll probably have that painting. If not, maybe I'll take a little bit of blue paint and do it myself. I probably would have also liked these tanks to have been painted as well. Again, I can do that myself, but that would just really have kind of cinched it up a little bit. The flamethrower itself is a little on the gummy side. I won't say that it's not perfect. It's not their worst weapon, but it's definitely there. That would probably be going to buzzer for worst weapons, to be honest. Hoses stay on pretty good, and the detail on the helmet and the face and the respirator is really nice. So let's de-gear him and take a look at the main figure himself. I know, I usually look at the figure first and then gear them up, but he looks so good putting... I really had fun putting on all that gear, to be honest, so we're doing it this way. One thing I love, that they actually took the time to paint the zipper on the fire suit. It's a small detail, and it's one that's left out a lot. I had some of my X Factor figures, for example, that never had that done, so I think that is a great detail. I love my asymmetry, and I love how the ventilator here is actually covering up part of the fire suit. Yeah, it's sculpted on... Oh, is it? No, that's not sculpted on. That's actually pretty cool. So this is sculpted on. I did not realize that plugs in. That's actually pretty cool, because that then also gives a little bit more flexibility when putting the hose in. I did not even notice that. That's well done, but I'll plug that in later. I also love he's got a pistol. So yes, once the flamethrower's out of juice, or he's in a situation that he can't use a flamethrower in, like, short spaces, he's got a proper sidearm. So that's like some of the things that have bugged me with some characters that he's countered. His face sculpt looks pleasant. Nice hairstyle. I think that's actually my hairstyle, believe it or not, when I try to get a haircut. The fire suit does not allow him to put his arms all the way down, and he does not have boot swivel or calf swivel. I'm fine with that. I know that some other reviewers do prefer that, but he does have a really good ankle pivot, and so that kind of helps compensate for it for some of the stances. But that does compromise it a little. Just things to be aware. The vest itself also does compromise some of his articulation, but not too bad, because if a real person was wearing this, their real articulation would be compromised as well. And as we mentioned, not much on the back here, but just I do like they took the time to paint the back, because some figures, they just don't do that. Helmet is, I think this is one we've seen before. Got the rangefinders and cameras on here. And we've got the ventilator piece, which is separate. Clear glasses on here. I'm 50-50 of having this as a separate piece versus just having a separated helmeted head, because I could also just have him with just the respirator mask, which is kind of cool. Just helmeted for non-scenarios of needing this. And of course, various states of it. So, I think after thinking about it, I like how the approach they did with this versus doing a separate head. Okay, I have to tell you, this weapon storage is actually not working for me. I was going to try to put that together for the final package, for the final thoughts shot of having him this stored, but this is not really storing too well on here. So that gets a ding from me. This plastic is just a little longer than the slot is here, so that's a little frustrating. I think that would have been cool if I actually could have pulled off that storage. I'm trying it both sides right here, and yeah, this is just longer than the slot, so nice in thought, unfortunately not nice in execution. I could probably take a razor blade and alter it myself, but at this point I know I'm going to have him on display holding the flamethrower anyway, so it's not too big of a deal, I guess. So, when putting him into this pose, first, as you see, I switched the flames. I switched the hands, and there's a reason why. The hose actually could tuck in on this gap a little, on that gap piece a little easier. It popped loose now, but I actually had it tucked in like this, and I like that actually. So it actually still uses that. It's not, I don't have that huge coil going behind there. So I actually think maybe the flamethrower should be in the other hand, even if the hand doesn't quite want to hold it on here. Just want to point that out, and I got that two-handed grip finally. So that just got a few more points back for me. I do want to say though, the backpack does pop out a little easy, and he was holding it two-handed and it just popped loose there. So that's still probably my biggest issue, is that he can't hold his weapon two-handed. Flame effect, as you can see, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Yes, this will probably be used for the cover shot once I get my fire effects out here. So, Blowtorch, he was in Revenge of Cobra, so early season stuff. If you're collecting those, if you liked your Joes from the cartoon, you're going to want him. Blowtorch was in the comics, you're going to want him. I cannot say a reason why you should avoid him, if that makes sense. I'm actually really impressed, again, how this flamethrower looks, even if it could use a little more paint, which we'll probably get in the retro card. So overall, I am pretty much pleased with it. I really like how the ventilator mask works on him, the respirator mask, whatever. Yeah, so I do recommend Blowtorch, absolutely. I got mine off Hasbro Pulse. You could probably find them on your e-tailers, on Amazon, and all that fun stuff. So, those are my thoughts on him. But let me know your thoughts down below. That's what the comment section's for, after all. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Come on. I want to try to make it to 1,000. I want to be one of the cool kids. So tell your friends, tell your buddies. Tell people if they want to find a new YouTuber to hate to subscribe so they can hate me. I don't know. Or just spread the love. We want positive energy. This is being recorded on July 3rd, so if you catch this on the 4th, may you have a safe holiday. If you catch this after that, I hope you had a safe holiday. And as always, we got more cool stuff on the way, so until next time, take care. Peace.